Yes, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9 hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep, go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laughs in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. Wild card mark. Wild card mark. I.O.W. Late night sports. Wild card mark. Wild card mark. I.O.W. Late night sports. Wild card mark. Wild card mark. I.O.W. Late night sports. Wild card mark. Wild card mark. I.O.W. Late night sports. Hey.
Give me a second, let me light up real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to the I.O.W. Sports Late Night Hour Edition, hosted by Mr. Modelo himself. You already know the name by now. You know what I'm saying? Wild Card Mark. You already know the vibe. Pull up, let's go.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? I know, late start. It's all good. But we here. We here. Shout out to my guy 40 Water, aka Silent Hill TDS, the man that dropped that dope intro for the show. Check him out. Hitchhikers. You did? Check him out. All right. And you gotta understand that if you check him out, show him some love. Make sure y'all tap in with us on our shit too. I.O.W. Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. YouTube is where all the content is at. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word, share it, hit that bell notification, lets you know every time we drop new content. Just help spread the word. That's what we want. That's how the best way y'all can show us support. We appreciate and love all the support. I.O.W. Sports 1 on Twitter as well. You want to chop it up with me personally on Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar on Facebook and Instagram. So, hey, great game by the USA Women's. All right. I was not a fan of the result. Neither was the bet that I placed. A gut told me to place the money on a draw. And I was like, nah, USA, they gonna take care of business. They gonna take care of business. That's what I thought. All right. That was my initial thoughts when I made the bet on DraftKings. I'm like, man, nah. Wait, USA women, I'm gonna put my money on them because that's what they gonna do. They gonna show up, they gonna show out, they gonna do what they take care of business, put themselves in good position to make it through the knockout round. And they gonna come on, it's Netherlands. And no disrespect to the ladies of Netherlands. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I know you guys are highly ranked in the FIFA rankings for the women. You're highly ranked. Yes, you are. And that's what caused me to go back and forth, whether it was a draw or a win for the USA women. So, hey, Hey, respecting you. It's not a dig at y'all. It goes back to the conversation we were having on the late night show. I had this conversation on 613 Fade Productions, the Man Cave Sports Podcast. My expectations for the USA women through the roof. You know why? Because of those who are in the same age bracket as me, been seeing them win since 99. Since the 1999, they've been winning. They've been winning. And they've been winning so much that they have easily changed the conversation of equal pay between men and women's sport for football, at least for soccer. That's how good they've been. Because they've been doing what we've been begging and pleading and actually just agonizing from the men soccer team to do what they've been doing. We've been asking them to be successful, win, be consistent. That's what we've been asking from the men. The women have been doing it. They've been doing it. And so that's why my expectation is win or bust when it comes to the women's national soccer team. Because that's all I've seen you do all my life. When all I've seen you do is win, I know nothing else. I know no other boundaries. Now, I get it. I'm being realistic. They don't win every World Cup. But they have, since 99, they have either won the World Cup, competed for the World Cup, or been in the conversation. But now they trying to do something that is so hard to do. And for me, they've already accomplished something because repeating as FIFA World Cup champions is nothing to sneeze at. Because obviously with the time frame of every 4 years, your teams won't look the same. Neither will your opponent's teams look the same. So to me, winning back-to-back World Cups was already an accomplishment of its own. Now they're competing for a three-peat. Ain't too many soccer countries, men or women, got the you know, the shit talk to say that, man, we done won 3 straight World Cups. Ain't a lot of teams or nations saying that they could do that. And I would love for our women of U.S. soccer team to say that, hey, we put our name in history too as being one of the dominant teams in soccer history because we won 3 straight World Cups. A feat of its own. A feat that would be hard to knock you as saying that you're one of the best and the best in history. It's hard to do. That is so hard to do, so hard to accomplish. So when you accomplish something like that, if you didn't like what we did, you're just a hater. But the thing about it is, and the reason why my expectations are that hard or that high is because I'm looking at the games. I saw tonight's game or Wednesday night's game, and then the game that they had against Vietnam. Yeah, they won against Vietnam 3-0, but they were lucky that they were playing Vietnam. And they were lucky that they was able to have a second half surge and make more opportunities and try to win this game, but it fell short. But I'm looking at the U.S. women's soccer team right now, and ladies, y'all are impressive and y'all are sloppy at the same time. I say it again. Ladies, y'all are impressive and sloppy at the same time. It's like y'all go through the motions. It looks like y'all go through the motions. And I hate to say it, sometimes I feel like ladies, y'all are suffering from that same syndrome that perhaps we see from the Golden State Warriors, where you like, we're so good. You know, we don't always play the cleanest. You know, fundamentals kind of get thrown out the window a little bit. You know, and you just rely on just how good we are. You know, we the Warriors. Hey, we the, you know, U.S. women's national soccer team. We like that. We ain't got it, you know. Details, bump that. Stay focused all the time, bump that. Stay persistent all the time, bump that. Keep your foot on their throat, bump that. It's like y'all play with y'all food. We see it all the time. Hey, tell me when y'all watch the Warriors that y'all don't feel like they don't be playing with their food. Like, man, come on, man. Y'all trying to be too much Harlem Globetrotters right now, and y'all making all kind of mental mistakes, silly mistakes, and you keeping the opponent in the game. Now, on today's game against the Netherlands, Wednesday's night game, for those who are on the East Coast, Wednesday night game, these ladies were playing very lax on the defensive side in the first half. Got caught. And Netherlands took advantage of some of their opportunities early in the game. But it's like, why do you need a wake-up call? Why do you need that type of, hey? Because let's be honest, they were doing some of the same thing against Vietnam in the first matchup. There were some details not getting buttoned up. There were some details getting missed. They were not clicking on all cylinders. A lot of missed opportunities, especially when it comes to, because the volume of shots that they're taking is there. It's the volume of shots on goals that needs to go up. All right. And there's been opportunities. Honestly, they could have scored almost like 6-7 goals against Vietnam. They only came away with 3. There was opportunities today against Netherlands that they should have had maybe about 3 or 4 goals in that game instead of just 1. You walked away with 1. You should have had at least 3 or 4 goals. This should have been like a 3-4-1 type of game. You were the better team. Your athleticism was better. You're too lax. You're too relaxed. I understand in pressure-packed moments. For me, I'm relaxed in pressure moments. You know why? When my back's against the wall, I am relaxed because I'm like, all right, it's my fault. I put myself here in this back against the wall moment. I'm a procrastinator. I know that. But for some reason, when my back's against the wall, I like to perform better. That's just what it do. I didn't study much in school. I was good enough to hear what the teachers say, process it, test time, quiz time, regurgitate it back out. But I got bored. I was a class clown. Could you tell? So I talked a lot. All my report cards say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Wild Card, your son can be a phenomenal student, but he talks too much and is a class clown. That was on all my report cards all the way through high school. I got bored. But trust me, I could have graduated with a damn 3.8, 4.0 GPA. I didn't apply myself because I was bored. But it's the same thing that applies with the Warriors and his U.S. women's national soccer team. There's times where I feel like you get bored. But if you just focus, take care of your details, dot your I's, cross your T's, button everything the fuck up, and play. And you take care of all that and you play, because we know that when you play, that part we ain't worried about. It's the other shit. It's the other part of the game that needs to make sure it needs to be on the same level and par with your play. You can't wait to down 1-0 at halftime to the Netherlands, a team you should be beating, to all of a sudden, all right, let's raise the level of our, details and everything to our play. Nah, man. Not in the World Cup. Because the fact of the matter is, now that you have got a draw with them, yes, you are, trust me, you should still come out the group. But now it leaves the door open for Portugal to put either U.S. or Netherlands in a situation to not advance to the knockout round. Because now your last game is against Portugal. Portugal's going to take care of their business against Vietnam. But my thing is, the fact of the matter is you leave the door open for you to possibly get eliminated. It's not shut. It's open. And that's why I say it matters when you got to take care of the details and be focused and handle business. Like you can't just go lollygagging through this situation. You can't just Oh, da, 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 da. We are the U.S. women. We're supposed to be here. You can't just show up and think you're supposed to win. That's not how sports. Matter of fact, I think Alice Morgan kind of said something to that fact. Let's take a look at what she said.
That second half in itself, there was such a momentum shift. I think we're a little disappointed with how we came out in the first half and kind of the pressure that we were under. But the second half, everything changed for us. We kept pressing them. We kept going. So many opportunities came with that, and our team just played more like a team.
Once we got that goal, we knew it was coming. We knew it was inevitable, and not to get the second when it's, I think, a bit unlucky. We played in their half almost the entire second half. I don't even think they had really dangerous opportunities in the second half. So just to see us come into locker room, regroup, and come out in the second half and put on that display, I'm really proud of the group. But yeah, we're not happy if we're not getting the win. Obviously, it puts the first place of the group just up for grabs now, and so we have to close the job when we play against Portugal in a few days.
Obviously, we'll take the point. We know Netherlands is a really good side. We knew it was going to be a battle for sure, but I think especially with the second half we have, we're a little disappointed that I don't think we put 1, 2, 3 in the net.
Come on now. I ain't even listened to the audio clip before I played it. That's just what I saw. This is what I love about the podcast and what I do. I am a fan. I'm not trying to be a professional, but it's okay that we all can look at stats, right? But I like to formulate an opinion about what I saw with the stats. I can't just look at a stat sheet and just be like, anybody can get on camera and do that bullshit. But what I saw from this game and even in the first game against Vietnam is exactly what the lady said right there. They're not happy with that draw. You shouldn't be. You knew you were supposed to win that game. And you heard Alex Morgan said it. It was the other few ladies that said some things too, but Alex Morgan said it. You leave first place open. You leave it open. Y'all can't do what the U.S. men been doing to us. Please don't disappoint us, because they've been disappointing the hell out of us. Every 4 years they lift us up, and then they just disappoint us and drop us down. We need y'all to stay consistent and do what y'all supposed to do. Handle y'all business. Finish Portugal. It's going to be a tough ask. Believe it or not, it's not going to be easy. Take care of business. Get to the knockouts. Bring it home. And you know what I mean by bring it home. Bring home that World Cup chip. Be a three-peat. Ain't too many countries saying that they done that. Ain't too many countries saying that. Y'all have a golden opportunity right here. Because I mean, obviously hats off, because since my lifetime, since 99, y'all been there. Y'all been there. So it's, come on. It was so frustrating watching that game tonight. Because I'm like, man, y'all should have won that. Because it's crazy, it's mind-boggling that y'all did not win that game. It really is. Stuff like that, it literally grinds my damn gears. It does. Like, when we say the phrase "sports be sporting," that's what we mean. That's what we mean. Because it's like, come on, man. Why didn't you win that game? That's all. I mean, it's literally not a lot of, because y'all went back to back before. Y'all done it in 99. Y'all did it in 2003. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you didn't. So Germany's went back to back. USA has gone back to back. As far as I know, that would be it. That would be it of any guys that interface the women's states back to 1970. Yeah, ain't too many teams doing that. So come on, ladies, let's do it. I just got to talk about something real quick, and I know we kind of talked about Jaylen Brown getting the bag last night and that type of money that he got. I just want to say this. It was shocking. I think a lot of people are on a shock matter that it was Jaylen Brown that got that type of supermax money, being the most richest contract in NBA history. It's because you would put that type of history making situation on somebody that you know for sure was that person. And what I mean by that is like a LeBron. Let's be honest. I'm surprised LeBron's never had the richest contract in NBA history or broke that mold. Someone like in today's game, Kevin Durant, you would think would have that type of contract. Steph Curry, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid. So I think a lot of the shock factor of Jaylen Brown getting that contract was just like, whoa. A lot of people don't even consider you the best player on your squad. I don't. I think that's Jason Tatum. And you can argue with me if you want, but I think Jason Tatum, if anything, will be considered the first person or the first player, the star on that squad. And but one thing I'm not mad about it is because I'm 4 players getting their bread, and Jaylen Brown, it was time for him to get paid. The opportunity just kind of presented itself. That's not his fault. I'm not gonna, criticize him for being the guy that had that kind of record-breaking contract. It's just weird. Sounded weird, definitely for sure when it happened. But we're supposed to be so against him getting paid at the time he did. It was his time to get paid. The CBA, allowed that type of payment scale. He was a free agent. Boston Celtics feel like he's necessary to get paid that money. That's up for them to whether to admit it was a good or bad thing. And they might not be done throwing more money out there anyway. Jason Tatum got to get paid too eventually. He got to get paid eventually. So then, in turn, he might eclipse his own teammate. There's a good chance. Because you pay Jaylen Brown that money, what, 304, pretty much, 5 years? You probably got to go 310, 308 for Jason Tatum. But hell, I'm not mad at it. And the reason why is because you get the not only have you gone through the growing pains with these guys because you got them so young, now you're about to get the meat of their prime. You know what I'm saying? So imagine had OKC kept James, Russell, and KD throughout the whole length of their career. So you would have gotten their younger days when you saw the raw talent, deal with some mistakes, the maturation, and then the bulk of their prime. So Boston is smart in this aspect. Is because you see the raw talent, and we see some mistakes from Tatum and Brown, but you sign them to that contract to make sure that you get the bulk of their prime. And when you get the bulk of their prime, that does leave you in that conversation for being one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. It does. It keeps you in that conversation. And let's look at the pathway in the East. It's manageable. It's very manageable. It's very manageable. Obviously, you look at Philly, regardless of James Harden is there or not. You know, what's your other challengers after that in the East? Knicks are all right. They're all right. Cleveland, they're okay. Huh? So who's your other real true competition in the East? Milwaukee, of course. Won a championship in 2019. So yeah, no, not 2019. I'm sorry, 2021. My years is off. I'm tripping. I corrected myself. Don't go in on me. So you look at the situation and you say, look at the East, it's very manageable. It's not like you're dealing with the gauntlet of the West, which y'all saw how that came down in the I mean, you literally go down all the way to 10th, 11th seed. You're looking at teams that would be in the playoffs in the East. So if you're Boston, why not get it to that point where you can make sure that you're always in the conversation in the East? You're always in the conversation to come out the East. You are, with those two locked up. And they've been making moves. You know, I wasn't big on the Porzingis trade, getting rid of Marcus Smart, only because I don't. Come on, Porzingis scares me. Porzingis scares me with the durability. I get it. Played 65 games last year. Whoop-de-doo. Look at how many times you're consistent with giving 65 plus game seasons. You're not consistent with it. You got some sprinkled in there, but you're not consistent with it. And consistency, durability are the name of the game, baby. When it comes to sports, now when it comes to life, you got to be available to do it, and you got to be consistent with doing it good. You do it consistently good, you there to do it on a consistently basis, doing it good, you get paid good. You're available and doing it on a consistency greatness level, you get paid great. That's not sports, that's life. So we can always have that linear parallel between life and sports, and there's another one. What you put in, more times than not, is what you get out. And so that's the only thing that scares me with the Porzingis thing with Boston. But you keep those two as your foundation, and they're a young foundation that has already been through it. That's another thing a lot of people got to really look at with Boston is a lot of your two pieces that are there that you're building around, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been there. They've been in numerous Eastern Conference finals, been to a final. So lock it up and actually be there, and then continue to put pieces around them to make sure that you're not just showing up for Eastern Conference finals and we just don't have a one-time appearance in the finals. No, we're going to have multiple appearances in the finals, and we're going to bring some more championships to Boston. Believe it or not, they're trying to still make the relevancy of that franchise still relevant. It's still relevant. They're still trying to get to the golden days of having 17 championships. I'm a Lakers fan, and trust me, we want more championships. You think Boston wants to be behind the Lakers in franchise championships in the NBA? Hell no. They ain't trying to be like that. They ain't trying to be behind them. Boston been in the lead of all-time championships in the NBA for so long. They want to get back to that. They want to get back to that. And they're making good steps by making sure you get Jaylen Brown locked up for, as long as foreseeable future, at least for the next 6-7 years. And then you're going to turn around and do it with Jason Tatum. It's a smart move. It really is. They've been consistently there in the conversation, regardless of who's been coaching. Brad Stevens, Ime Udoka, Joe Mazzulla now. They're still making it to Eastern Conference Finals. General managers been doing their job too, making sure you got some pieces. I'm still not high on Marcus Smart leaving. I think you lose. Okay, so what you gain with in Porzingis in points and offensive, you lose with locker room, hard leadership that comes with Marcus Smart. He's the identity. He's the Draymond Green personality, the enforcer. Losing Grant Williams, I think, is not a good look. Losing him, you lose his defense. And matter of fact, got to give him props because there was a couple of games in the playoffs that he showed up against Miami when Tatum and Brown weren't. So I think that's another loss that might not be getting looked at as well. So it's a different team with that Boston's going to be there, but they're still going to be in conversation in the East because the lack of true competition. I know we can say Milwaukee. They still don't scare me. I still think Giannis doesn't have the quote unquote consistent support. I don't think Drew Holiday is consistent enough offensively. His defense I like, his facilitating skills I like, but he's 51 points in one game and then he's 6 the next. And he's not an efficient shooter. I know. I'm not big on Chris Middleton. I'm not big on him. I think he's inconsistent. So, then you look at Philly. So Joel Embiid gets married over the weekend, and of course, y'all know the first thing Twitter's gonna joke on. Oh well, enjoy that ring. That's the only ring you're gonna get. It was funny. It was a joke I saw coming a mile away. But some jokes got truth in it. I still don't see him getting a ring in Philly no time soon. James Harden wasn't the answer. I don't know what you're gonna do with Tobias Harris. I'm pretty sure you extend Maxey. No need to rush it though. Still want to see him improve. Okay, so now we got Philly, we got Milwaukee, Knicks. You can throw him in there. I like Jalen Brunson in his leadership. Still got to find out what you're going to do with R.J. Barrett. Is he going to make that next leap, or he's just going to keep giving us this mediocre shit every year? Still need some pieces. Cleveland, I love Donovan Mitchell, but you guys are guard heavy. Need some help. Size-wise, Jared Allen, I love him at center. He's good. He's never scared. Oh, he ain't scared. But besides him, I don't see you protecting, playing great defense. I just think the East are wide open, and Boston is making sure that they keep their feet, at the top of that conversation. Still got to worry about the Miami Heat. You can't worry about them. You can't forget about them. Jimmy won't let you. Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler. He won't let you. He won me over with his mentality and the way he approaches the game. Can be inconsistent on the offensive game, but he's not a. Jimmy does a lot of things good. He doesn't do one or two things excellent. So he's your all-around two-way type of player, but he can't do it alone, and that's where Miami lacks. You don't have your bucket getter. You don't. That's why I was hoping that they would have been big on trying to lure Kyrie Irving away from Dallas. I was hoping that they would at least go after that. Oh hell, I thought Fred VanVleet would have been a great option. Kind of fits that mentality of the hardworking guy. I mean, this guy he was undrafted, went through the G League, worked his way up, got a championship, just got the richest contract for a guy that was never drafted. I thought Miami would have been a good spot for him. He fits that mold. But Kyrie Irving missed out on that. Now it seems like it's Miami or nowhere else for Dame. That's what he's saying. If that's what he's saying, that's what he's saying. But if he can stay healthy, because he's been having some health issues recently, got to be honest about that, and get him on that Miami Heat team, there's your competition for Boston. I mean, they've been meeting up in the ECF anyway in the last couple of years. That's pretty much been your direct competition. So, smart move by Boston. Smart move. Speaking of somebody getting paid, man, Andrew Thomas, the left tackle. Yeah, left tackle for the New York Giants. He got paid. Yep, he got paid. Got some buku money. And I know what a lot of people are saying. They're like, yo, that's smart. And then you got the big masses of people saying, oh man, wait, why couldn't y'all pay Saquon? Why couldn't y'all pay Saquon? And where I stand is, I'm actually okay that they paid Andrew Thomas right after they had the situation with Saquon. Because you look at what's important in the NFL, and I think it always starts up front. And for those who really watch the game of football, actually, study it, and actually care about the specifics of success in football, they know that it starts in the trenches. And so I have no beef with the Giants putting money in the trenches, because you got to put in the context. If you don't pay Andrew Thomas, who's a good left tackle that they drafted, been doing well for them, if you don't pay your tackles, you don't protect your quarterback. And so that makes your highest investment, which is the quarterback, it makes it pretty much null and void at that point. It makes you pretty much a highly paid injured person. Because if you can't protect your quarterback, more times than not, he's going to be injured. And when your quarterback is injured, it changes the dynamic of your squad as the 49ers. They could have won that game against the Eagles. Had they had a healthy quarterback, could have. Should have, could have, would have. But the fact of the matter is, that's why it's important to make sure that you have adequate left tackle and right tackle. So I am not upset like some people are like, oh my God, you had all that money and didn't want to pay Saquon. I understand it. It's a business. Matter of fact, if you don't have that good left tackle, I know Saquon is good. You can't make everybody miss on every carry, on every reception. You can't make everybody miss. Sometimes it's good to have a good left tackle to block for you, open up those holes for you. You can't make everybody miss. You got a good O-line. All right, so for instance, Barry Sanders was phenomenal. Phenomenal. He never had an adequate O-line his whole 10 years in Detroit. See the numbers he put up? He had to work for him. He had to do some miraculous stuff. We've seen all the miraculous Barry Sanders highlights. No championships. Because you can't win on a consistent basis with phenomenal highlights. There are times where you just got to play football and your offensive line has to win the trench war to get the success on the ground game. Hell, they got to win the trench war to make sure that your quarterback's protected to win in the passing game. So I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, you should have gave that money to Saquon. You got to look at the way that the game is played in the NFL. If you lose the trench war, more times than not, you're going to lose. If you don't win the trench war. For those who don't actually see the game and understand the game of football, you must win the trench war. That means you control the line of scrimmage. You control the time of possession. And if you lose those games when you control time of possession, you control the trench war, and it means you're making mistakes. You're having turnovers. You're not making the plays to continue drives. You lose those type of games when you control the trench war, when you control the time of possession, is because you are having mental lapses, self-inflicted wounds. More times than not, you win those games when you control the line of scrimmage and when you control the time of possession. You got to understand how the game works and how it plays. Paying left tackle, and the reason why they waited is because they wanted to make sure how much it was going to cost to keep Saquon or to get him into pads. They took care of it. We already had this money allocated for left tackle. And quite honestly, if I'm Saquon, I'm not mad neither. I need that left tackle, that Pro Bowl left tackle. I need him. His success is my success. If he's getting beat on majority of the plays, man, it's about to be a long ass day. If he's successful, I'm successful, the team's successful. It all comes together. It just, if you look at the actual timeline of things, it looks bad because you shouldn't have paid your quarterback first before those other two. In just my opinion. That's where I think the Giants messed up. Paying Daniel Jones first was the problem because you could have went the non-exclusive tag like the Baltimore Ravens did. And they're any team to make an offer, and then you make that decision if you want to match your offer sheet or not. But it gives you an idea where his market is at. The problem of the matter is we know where Saquon's market was at, and you obviously know there's always a market for a Pro Bowl left tackle. Always a market. They just went about the timeline different. It is what it is. Shohei Ohtani looks like the Angels are taking him off the market. And here's the reason why I think they did it. Boy, you was going to have to give up a haul. I'm talking about back up whatever the Angels wanted to get Ohtani. I thought you was going to have to give up a haul. And so you take him off the market after you see what people are offering. See his true value, because he's 28, 29 years old. You already know of the magnitude of the Japanese market that comes, viewership that comes with him. You're going to see the uptick in ticket sales from the Japanese market in your city. In the Asian market, you're going to see an uptick in it because they follow them. They do. So that boosts your economic, unless you're Anaheim for some reason. Still can't sell out no damn games. Yeah, they can't sell out. Oh yeah, we had that conversation on the show. They can't sell out games in Anaheim with Ohtani, with Trout. Can't sell them out. It's crazy. But you're gonna have to. It had to only been a market that you know that he was going to take over and go over to that next level, as in championship aspirations. But Ohtani was only going to be able to go to a big market team. There's no way he could have went to a small market team. He would have crippled a small market team. If the Royals tried to trade for him and it actually went through, he would have crippled the whole franchise. Because obviously, to get him, you're going to pretty much take whatever talent you got on the main roster. You're going to have to dig into the farm system. There's talent gone there. There's probably some picks thrown in there too. You can't recoup all that compensation you gave up to get one guy that does two jobs. He does do two jobs and does them well. But it's one guy. And I think that's what steered a lot of people away from trading for Ohtani. They know what you can do for us economically. They know what you can do for the win-loss record because of your talent. But the backside is damn it, what the hell are we going to have to give up to get you? I mean, you especially if you're one of these big market teams, you're in, conversation. He may keep you in the conversation, but I think it takes away from a lot of things that you would have to give. Put it this way. Here's a good analogy. Y'all remember how the Phoenix Suns were in conversation of being one of the better teams in the West, right? And the way that they were put together, it looked good. It was cohesive. You had some issues between coach players and things like that, but you trade for Kevin Durant. And so you lost some shooting, getting Kevin Durant, and you lost some defense, getting Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant is one guy. He can cover up some of those problems and holes by himself. Yes, he can. But that's a lot to ask for one guy to cover up a lot of what's missing just to acquire that one guy. It would have been the same situation in Major League Baseball trying to acquire Ohtani. You would have given up so much that he can only feel, okay, so you may lose some batting. He can feel some of that, not all of it. Playing defense in the outfield, he can feel that, not all of it. Pitching, you would have had to give up some of that. He can feel some of that, but not all of it. He may be able to help you in all those other departments, but he's still only one guy, and you're going to give up probably like 5 to 7 guys to get Ohtani. Like, for real. So I actually think, I think that's why they did it. It's actually It sucks for the Angels because I think what you would have gotten back in return would have reset your franchise. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when the Angels were always in the conversation of going to the World Series, like back in 02, 01, and even then. And then when they beat the Giants in 02, and Mike Scioscia was the coach, manager. They were always a tough team. And they've gotten so far away from that. They've had superstars. Pujols played a good amount of there. Of course, Mike Trout. Now Ohtani. They've been throwing money at all different types of players, and it just ain't work out. So I think it was a loss on the Angels' part, because I think it could have brought you back in the compensation wise a lot of talent for Ohtani. It could have brought you a lot of talent that could have reset your franchise, because you would have been able to plug a lot of holes that you need filled easily with that one trade. Easily, you could have filled a lot of holes. Pitching, hitting, base stealing, whatever. If you had a list of all the issues you got on your roster wise, you were like, I got this problem, that problem. If they would have made a trade for Ohtani, they could have check, and check. Oh, shit. Throw the list away, is all marked off. Could have. But I understand you got to have a trade partner. And nobody was good. Come on now. That's why you take them off the market. Nobody's willing to give you whatever you thought was fair compensation for him. Nobody. Not even the Yankees, not the Dodgers. I know there was teams talking to you. Obviously, you was on the trade market. But guess what? Now it turns into a situation where Major League Baseball, you're going to see a record contract next year. Ohtani's going to get it. The question mark is who's going to pay it. That's going to be the story. Major League Baseball gets it now. You know how you get your sport talked about when you're not playing? Situations like this. Smart move in Major League Baseball. Smart move. Because it's going to make people talk about, in podcasts like mine. Podcasts is a million of podcasts now. FS1, ESPN, Major League Baseball Network. Anytime they're going to talk about baseball from this point on, past the trade deadline, until he signs the dotted line, hell, probably in the spring training next year, all you're going to hear is Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani. And then at some point it's going to be how much he got paid. Now that's going to be the story. That's going to be the headlines for Major League Baseball from now all the way up to spring training. Is his name, and then eventually how much he got paid. Smart move, Major League Baseball. I see you. Real quick, I want to touch on this, and we'll probably touch on it on the day show, on Thursday's show, especially if the big homie's in there. So Rodgers reworked his contract. And I thought it was a great move. Matter of fact, let's take a quick listen for when Adam Schefter and his thoughts on why he took the pay cut. I got my thoughts and processes on in my own take on why he took the pay cut. So we'll kind of compare and contrast on what I think why he took the pay cut and what Aaron Rodgers, why he took the pay cut.
Adam Schefter joining us now. Shefty, what can you share with us about what this means for Rodgers and the Jets moving forward?
Well, El, this is a $35 million voluntary pay cut that Aaron Rodgers has offered to the Jets. It's a sign that he plans to play there the next 2 years, and he's giving back money for this team to be able to go make moves, other moves to improve the roster, to try to help this team get back to and win a Super Bowl. Obviously, he gave up a lot of control here by giving the cap leverage back to the New York Jets, but he also has made a lot of money in his career, and he didn't really care. He cared about giving the Jets the flexibility that they needed to go out and improve their roster, taking a quarterback deal well below market value right now. And this deal really has been agreed to for weeks. They're still waiting for Aaron Rodgers to sign off on it. As of right now, he has still not signed the deal. He could sign it as early as tonight. That's certainly possible, but this deal is going to get done, and when it gets done, it's going to save the Jets $35 million against the cap over the next 2 seasons.
Well, okay, so Adam Schefter kind of touched on some of the things I was going to say. But here's the main point that I want to say on why Rodgers took that cap cut. Did y'all look at the Jet schedule? Did y'all look at it? Brutal as it's tough. You're in a tough division, and they're in a tough conference. He took this pay cut because he ain't silly. I think Aaron Rodgers is a lot of things, but I don't think he's silly. And I'm looking at the situation where he looked at the landscape of going from the NFC to the AFC. It's more roadblocks in your way in the AFC. It's more things in your way to block you from getting to the Super Bowl in the AFC than in the NFC. He knows this. He knew this. He just wanted to get out of Green Bay. But at the end of the day, we know that all quarterbacks at some point in time, if they want to win on a consistent basis, has always done this formula. We saw Eli Manning take pay cuts, restructure deals. He gets 2 Super Bowls. We saw Tom Brady do it on so many times in New England. Restructure deals, restructure money, walk away with 6 championships. We've seen now Patrick Mahomes do it. Sign a deal, restructure it every time to make sure to leave money on the table so that they can get allocated in certain places to help us get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, and always stay in Super Bowl conversation. That is the pathway that you must take as a quarterback. Believe it or not, it's not always about being the highest paid. Go look at the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Now you got Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. You know what all those Kyler Murray. You know what all those guys got in common? They're great players. They ain't got no chips. And I know I'm just painting that with a broad brush, so don't go in on me. But let's be honest about the situation. When you allocate a lot of your funds to one position, it does put a cap on what you can do to put around them. That's why it's always best to get your championships with your quarterback on a rookie contract, which Mahomes did. And it's best to win early as possible and have all the success you can possible early on your QB's rookie deal, because it helps build the team around him. So when it comes to holding the bag of paying your quarterback, you're going to come off some bread just because they are the highest position in the NFL, but it doesn't put a strain on the rest of the team getting built. That's why you got to try to get that window. So they're pretty much what Aaron Rodgers is doing is saying, hey, we got this 2-year window to compete in a tough conference, tough division. We're going to see this tough ass schedule year in and year out. And that schedule is tough as shit. let's make sure that we can make sure we got the pieces around, because they are a good team on paper, how they're built with the talent they got. Young as hell, but a lot of talent. And there's going to be times where you want to make sure that you got the cap space to, add a good veteran piece that has something left in the gas tank that can actually add to what you're trying to do. Like Carlos Dunlap for the Chiefs was a great addition to the squad last year. He added, and he wanted something. He got it. He helped get it. All right. He wanted a championship. He did his part in being part of it, and he walked away with a championship. That's what that move with Aaron Rodgers doing. He finally gets it. It's a smart move. Because I don't recall him ever doing that in Green Bay. Matter of fact, he always was about getting his bag in Green Bay. I'm not mad at him. Get some money. Get some paper. But this was a smart move for him to do it with the Jets. Because there's talent everywhere. It's young talent. And they were a quarterback away from at least making the playoffs last year. They were. That's one thing I will always be honest and truthful about this Jet squad. They were a quarterback away from being a playoff team last year. Now let's chill out on the Super Bowl shit. And I mean, I know y'all excited, but Aaron Rodgers was smart for him to do that move. And we also got to look at the fact that the general manager is damn good at making moves. So imagine what the moves that he can make between now and the end of preseason, going into week one, or what moves that he can possibly make to make this team even better. They've been rumored about Dalvin Cook. That'd be a great addition to the running game. We got to be honest. We don't know what Breece Hall is bringing back. He had ACL. Hello. More times than not for running back, it's next year he'll be back to his true form. That first year after the injury, you're kind of, you're not sure what you're going to get back. So it makes sense to make this roster, this roster money cut from Rodgers, free up some cap space, get you a Dalvin Cook so you can ease Breece Hall into the fold. Come on, Dalvin Cook as your starting running back is not a bad look. The guy just ran for 4 straight 1K yards seasons in a row. He ain't no slouch, and he's a good receiving back as well. Can't get nicked up, miss a couple of games here and there. But come on. It's not a bad look as your primary running back. And you'll have Breece Hall, ease him into the fold. Why not? That's not a bad look. But it helps build your roster, and it actually helps you manage this tough ass schedule. Joe Douglas is a damn good general manager. I just think Rodgers literally just gave him almost threw him the keys to the Ferrari and said, "Let's ride, bro." Because he pretty much gave Joe Douglas an opportunity to bolster this roster even better and possibly put it in that conversation of Super Bowl. Possibly. All of it still has to come together. It really does. But smart move by Rodgers by taking that pay cut. For real. All right, y'all. I'm shutting it down. I'm about to go take some medicine. I'm feeling like shit anyway. Had a flu game, y'all. Had to get y'all the Michael Jordan treatment, man. Shit, all week I've been feeling like, I got kids, man. They germy, right? They nasty. They just, and they always want to be up on you, and then they spread their germs because they had it first. Then it got the old lady, and it got me. Hopefully, the newborn, she don't get it. But anyway, y'all pray for me, y'all. Hey, man, love y'all. Appreciate the love and the support. Keep rocking with us. I.O W Sports. All the social media stuff on the bottom. Tap in with me. Y'all know what it is. Casey Wildcard Mar. Facebook, Instagram. I'll let y'all. See y'all Thursday. for Thirsty Thursday. Hey, Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah. Come on. Silent Hill TD, yes. Hitchhikers. Yeah, smoking so much dope, I'm seeing traces. Visual lasers, load across the scene is dangerous, aggressive like behavior. Couple monsters from my neighbors, resisting human nature. Persistently getting greater, blood chase like the Terminator. Fire up the green, I need it, increase the dopamine. Feel better, so I kill better, doped up for cocaine. Booming like I never